9:41, everybody. Tony Awards, less than a month away. Can you believe that already?
No.
And no play in the history of Broadway has racked up as many Tony nominations as Stereophonic. And this morning, we are talking with one of the cast members. Here's a peek first, though, at the record-breaking show.
Got my ticket to the masquerade. Sold and sold and the money paid. I've been here so long that that's where you have gone. So I grab my bag and I'm on my way.
And part of that band dynamic is New York's very own Tom Pecinka, who is up for a Tony Award.
Yes.
Nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Featured Role in a Play. Good morning to you. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is all I'm hearing about.
I mean, first of all, hello. Broadway debut and a Tony nomination.
Yes. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that morning was just, I had a heart attack, and then I cried, and then I laughed, and then I got like all the calls from people I hadn't seen or heard from in years, and it was just incredible.
What an experience.
First nomination for you, 13 total nominations for the show, the most in Broadway history for a play.
Yeah.
So kind of, for you and the cast, kind of taking that all in, I'm sure it was surreal.
Absolutely.
Now part of history.
Yeah, I mean, we started off Broadway at Playwrights Horizons last year, and it was this small show that, we loved and worked really hard on. And then to be now here on Broadway with 13 Tony nominations and to be historic is just completely surreal. Our director always says, like, stay the underdogs, though, because you guys are the underdogs. So we're sort of scrappy like that.
The little play that could.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's a play, but it has music, but it's still considered a play.
Yes.
I mean, that's already a little whatever.
Yeah.
But first of all, what was that like to be able to be a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, I started out, my sort of entryway into performing was when I was a kid, just singing karaoke with my dad's karaoke machine in the basement, like Lion King karaoke,
Yes.
Yeah, so he came down one day and was like, "You got a great voice," and that sort of started everything. And I thought my in was going to be musical theater, but it wasn't. I started doing like Shakespeare and Chekhov and Ibsen and all these old dead writers and classic plays, and so to be singing on Broadway is amazing, and also doing a play that's very similar to the work that I had already been doing. It's just a great mashup of what I get to do and what I love to do.
First off, let me just say, great choice of karaoke. The Lion King karaoke is like one of the best karaoke.
Yes.
I know from experience. But let's talk about this show in particular. By the way, the music got nominated for like best score, right?
Yeah, best score
so
and
crazy.
best orchestrations.
Yeah, I mean, that's
we sort of
itself.
invaded the musical categories.
That's great, but that's the thing. It's like just this kind of this wholesomeness of it all, and it's really for the audience. I feel like a peek into the world of obviously the lives of a musician and the making of an album. And everybody thinks that they know what that world looks like, but you're putting it firsthand. It's kind of a true story, but kind of not, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's heavily influenced by bands in the 70s.
Yeah.
The dynamics of those bands and the sort of historical stories of those bands. But it's an entirely new story from the mind of our writer, David Adjemi. And you just get to see this band going through the trials and tribulations of making something and trying to make something great, which I think everyone can relate to. If you did like a school project and you're dealing with the person who you absolutely hate, but you have to work with them, or you feel like you have to do all the work, or you're falling in love with someone that you're working with, I think anyone can relate to that.
Well, tell us about your character within the storyline.
Yeah, so Peter is the lead guitarist and one of the lead vocalists in the band. He sort of becomes the producer of the album as the show goes on. And he's a bit of a control freak. And causes a lot of drama amongst the band members. But what's amazing is we are, people always say, this fake band. No, we're a very real band. We've played together now for almost a year, and we play together every day, and that was part of the process too of learning really how to play.
Saying you're a fake band, like in the show?
Yeah.
Because it's based. Are you based off Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, I mean, everyone says like it's the Fleetwood Mac story, right?
Okay.
The dynamics of the band are it's 3 Brits and 2 Americans.
Yeah.
But we looked at a lot of different bands.
Okay.
It's definitely not the Fleetwood Mac story, but it's a heavy influence on the show for sure.
Right.
Wow. Well, congratulations on the success of this, but everyone wants to know now, what's next for you?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Musical theater. No.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I do. Now that I know how to handle my voice, because you look at some of these musical theater performers, you're like, how can you do that 8 times a week? And for me, like, there have been moments where I'm like, oh God, am I going to lose my voice?
Yeah.
And now that I know how to take care of it, I was like, maybe I do want to do a musical professionally.
Yes,
I've never
do it.
done that, But, hopefully, like, series regular on an HBO series or something, something like a Succession or something.
Ooh.
That would be great,
Okay.
I'm very jealous of Jeremy Strong, and his crew.
Well, Jeremy Strong should watch out.
Yeah, watch out,
That's
Jeremy.
Look out for me. Well, congratulations again, and thanks for
you.
coming in.
Thank you so much.
Good stuff.
For having me.
Congratulations. And yeah, good luck on the Tonys.
Thank you.
Or break a leg, I should say. I don't know what the phrase. I don't even know.
Thanks.
Break an arm. The record-breaking Tony-nominated play, Stereophonic, running through August 18th only. Something tells me it might be
Catch it.
extended. Right?
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Let's hope so.